So Lee had all these items that were sort of blocked on the first one. And we're not sure if she's going to be able to take these items on, so I don't know that we should reassign them now or hold off on that.
I'll try to get in touch with her this week and confirm or deny that.
Okay.
How's that? That's a good plan.
But these are all mentoring items we discussed last time that we sort of want to get through, hopefully this cycle. So they're already on the blueprint. Some other stuff we did this cycle, we went and did all our social media stuff. So we have a blog now, which I'm sure people have seen. Twitter, Identica, Facebook, we've got all those things. I've been working on most of that to keep them all updated and synced. So I'll post a blog post, and I'll usually post the same thing to the mailing list. And then I'll go in and update Identica, which cross-posts to Twitter, and then I'll manually update Facebook. If anyone else wants to help with this, I'd be happy to hand over keys to anyone, so just let me know.
Help with you can put me down for Facebook if you want.
Okay, Amber will help with Facebook. So I don't know that that's really an action item, but I'm just... another thing we worked on was our wiki theme. Where did that go? Oh, that didn't work.
Are we just waiting on Kyle?
So IS just installed this theme for us last night.
Oh, yay.
This has a bunch of bug fixes because the original theme we deployed, everyone wanted to, they had a bunch of complaints, so we filed them in the bug tracker, and I've been working with a couple of people to update the theme. So this is the one with the bug fixes. Let me just bring up a page that actually has... Oh, well, okay, so the menu over there is falling off the side, but that's now our side menu.
How come I'm not seeing the new page?
So this theme is installed. Let me just go down to the bottom here. And then we've got like a nice footer and stuff there.
So if we go to wiki.ubuntu.
So this theme is installed, but it's not yet the default.
Gotcha.
So if you log into the wiki and go to preferences, you can click it select it from the drop-down menu.
Oh, okay.
So in the next few weeks, I'm going to be asking people to test this theme and submit some more bugs if you have them, and then fixing up the last of the bugs. And then we're going to switch it to default. So that's also on our blueprint as something that's assigned to me. So once we get testing done, we'll finally release it. So that's pretty much where we are now. So this session is pretty much to brainstorm what we want to do in the next cycle, aside from what's already on the blueprint now. So anyone have some thoughts? We did a competition this past cycle, where we had a bunch of women send in stories about some projects that they're working on. So we could do another competition if people are interested in doing something like that, or...
I think competitions are good. I mean, I shouldn't say competitions, but anything that raises awareness. So, and we do have Ada Lovelace Day well, not next cycle, but within the next year. And we do have when is the women,
It's usually March.
Is it March?
March 12th?
Is that when it is? So we'll have that coming up this cycle.
Did that just change though? Because we just had Ada Lovelace there in October?
Yeah, Ada Lovelace changed
They're
the...
set by two different people.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's early March is International Day of the Women.
That's it.
Related.
Ours.
And Ada Lovelace is just geek specific.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's an online campaign. I mean, I think the problem with my one concern with contests is if we don't have one or two people really driving it, we get things like not knowing what the prizes are going to be and stuff like that. And and I think
so this one, this
if we're all
cycle,
kind of meh about it, maybe it's something to bring up on the list to see if people want to do. But it may, but really we need to say, if you want to do this, you need to be.
Yeah, this past one, I mean, we ended up having 6 entries, but that was me going out and personally being like, you should submit something. And I worked pretty hard to get submissions. And then we ended up with 6, which are really great submissions, but...
I felt like it came really fast, and I don't know why. It might have just been everything else in my life at that point, but... Yeah,
I think the timing was bad for you, because it was August and then September, I think another problem is that it was making stuff, and so we announced it in September, and then said have something, a proposal done in a month, or a story written or something done.
I feel was actually supposed to be made, but I think it did say it could be made anytime this previous year.
Yeah, I think maybe it wasn't communicated clearly enough, because a lot of them were older projects.
Yeah, the whole year thing kind of threw me, so.
Okay, so Lee said that her items should be reassigned.
Oh, good.
She's got life and moving and things.
Like awesome.
So Amber's finishing up this framework structure. We can look at these
Yeah.
4 to-do items.
I'll just knock it out tonight and try to have something tomorrow for everyone.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about what we still think about these work items.
I mean, I wasn't here and I wasn't at the last UDS. Which template are we talking about?
Oh,
Daniel's?
It's, well, that's like overcome by events. Isn't that the outreach?
So is there a reason we should really put last cycles?
Well, yeah, because we still want to do some of them, or at least I thought we did. Like, I know we want to do that mentoring, but I can't remember what Daniel's template is now.
I don't either.
It's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So just, we can say do outreach to UW, but what is his template? Let me look.
What is the what's the template about?
He did an outreach to the developers last cycle.
Okay.
And so he's got a
He
template
was
to the
doing new
developers.
people. He was putting up blog posts of, where he interviewed new people.
No,
I think this is separate.
this is separate from that. This was,
This is why I didn't know.
this wasn't this cycle, it was cycle before. But that's what eventually his template became, is the update, the update, what are those, the cycle updates that he puts in every week?
Weekly.
That's his template, that's how it evolved to it. So we were gonna look at doing something like that, which could fall into team leads doing the appreciation stuff. So if
Yeah.
we do I don't think we have enough to do a weekly update, but if we do a monthly,
Well, we do Full Circle Magazine interviews.
monthly, right?
Yeah.
So that could be part of it.
Yeah, but I think we pull this one, because
Yeah.
I mean, this is sort of something we already do with the interviews and,
I think it's
Thank
overcome by
yous.
events now.
yeah, so let's get rid of that one. And then, I think we still want to reach out to the other mentoring programs.
Yeah. And they're excited too, like, even with the GNOME folks and stuff, everybody's pretty excited that we're looking at doing a formalized mentors in addition to an ad hoc membership, so they can work in tandem.
Yeah.
And that's the way they do theirs, so we'll just get it written up. I just gotta tweak it.
Okay.
Remove everywhere it says like Google Summer Code and put in, Ubuntu women.
Okay. Yeah.
So we can do that. I'll just work on it tonight.
Do you want to reassign them all to yourself?
I don't want to, but you can. Go right ahead.
Well,
Do that, yeah, just do it, just to reassign it to me, and except for the Rails Bridge stuff, even though I'm actually doing the Python course, so I can write it up from like the non-geeky side.
We've got Audrey in channel now.
Oh, okay, then can we volunteer? She'd be perfect for that,
Yeah.
because she already works on it, I think,
Yeah,
right?
let me put these in the,
Jessica's
Thank you.
reminding us that they're happy to do things too.
Oh, we can volunteer her.
all right, good. So someone should talk to Audrey about looking into their mentoring program.
Where's Nigel? He knows him.
He's probably sleeping.
Oh. Can we assign that to Nigel?
He's a tendency to be up at completely the wrong time zones.
Yeah. He was up earlier or something. Maybe he's sleeping now.
He was planning on being back.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably has no.
I would assign that one to Nigel. Because he actually works with, he actually works on some projects.
all right. So I'll update this part of the blueprint. So we're pulling the
Yeah, I'm taking that.
template one,
Yeah.
and then we're reassigning this one. Is it I think it's Babu.
That one too.
This
She's
one
got
too.
Nigel.
Yeah.
It's a great program, I just don't know enough about it. So.
Yeah. And then your
Yeah.
InfoSec
Yeah.
mentor. You do that. Okay.
Yeah, just stick me in that one.
Okay. All right, so far our blueprint's pretty much focused on mentoring.
It's probably gonna take a whole cycle to get,
Yeah.
and take a lot of people to go through it and review it,
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
you know, it's gonna take some work. Because the rough stuff I can get done this week, but then people are gonna have to go through and pull out stuff that really doesn't make sense to us, you know?
Yeah. So let me pull up. So, yeah, so that's all mentoring focused. Does anyone, what other thoughts do we have for things we can do this cycle?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but like Elkie and I one time had this, I don't have it now, but we had like a joint PayPal account kind of thing where we would throw in money when I need to ship get the computer for the contest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how everybody else feels, but have something where, you know, if we wanted to ship stickers or we wanted to ship card, you know, like the Ubuntu Women cards to people or whatever, that nobody has to fund it, but it would be nice if we could maybe look into setting something like that up.
Okay.
So we can get other members the resources they need.
What about putting on, say, our plan on Ubuntu, on the Ubuntu Women plan on Ubuntu, a PayPal link saying contribute to the project, and put a note that this money will go towards sending stickers, leaflets, anything,
Okay.
sort of earrings or something like that.
I think the one problem is it gets into the same problem that locals have.
Yeah. So it's a tax issue.
I can't imagine.
Now,
What-
I suppose if
As long as the
someone not in
intent.
the US was actually in control of
Yeah,
the
it's-
account,
It's
like,
non-US.
No, well, no, as long as it's not, is the intent, because I talked to Rick about, you know, about loco teams and like other teams raising money for things. It's the intent, and as long as the intent is to fund the betterment of Ubuntu and getting the word out about Ubuntu, then as long as it's not lining anybody's pockets per se, it's going back into the.
Teams, it's different as well.
And so- Yeah, and so that's what I mean. So wherever it's at, whoever's holding on to this, just know that if it gets above a certain amount,
Yeah.
you're personally going to get taxed on it.
Right.
So
So I think
whoever-
I mean, I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
much money. Like even the California.
As long as it's
team, I
not
mean,
above like 700, I think,
We
then.
never even get over 100 for California.
Well,
I can't
so
imagine.
rather than put a PayPal link on the website and saying, hey, yeah, like
So
a dollar or a euro or whatever.
Yeah, so I think maybe we do that, and then we say something about under it, like if you want to donate more, donate to the ADA initiative or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be nice because that's something that like, as a, you know, I would have liked to have asked you to get me some stickers or whatever, but I don't want to ask you to ship some as well. 'Cause,
I
you know,
brought a whole box of stickers. I forgot. I was
well,
gonna bring
no,
it
I know
here.
this, but you know.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So some PayPal.
We just need to look into. I think the most we had in it at that particular point in time was like $450 US, and that was just for shipping the computer and doing that, you know, doing that stuff. So.
All right. So
But
I'll
if it's
fix.
explained, then it's fine, yeah, because people will understand that it's not people lying around money, it's, you know,
Right.
You'll have to come up with a
so people don't come up
disclaimer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll come up with some text. I'll add this to the blueprint later because I don't want to update it 40 times and spam the mailing list. So.
Sure you do.
All right. I'll put this in the Etherpad.
Great.
So I'll add a. And you said you have a PayPal account already? Or
We
is
had a joint one that was linked to mine.
All right. Well, we can talk
so,
about that.
Yeah.
Those
I
details.
mean, I don't care. It's just one I set up just under my name for the group. But,
Okay. Well, we'll.
And I'll be more than happy to add anybody to it.
Okay, great. So what do we want to do any sort of like concerted effort to make more stickers and print out more things and stuff? Should that be like an item?
I have a couple, well, I've got about 200 Ubuntu Women business cards sitting in my apartment that
Yeah.
just have the old logo on them instead of the new one.
I have a few here.
I have a ton.
Because I
in
forgot
my-
to switch out the logo before getting it printed for Southeast Linux Fest. And
Yeah.
also forgot to tell Linux Fest, while having more women than most Linux Fest, still only has about 30.
Yeah.
I think we should make a concerted effort to go to local events and represent Ubuntu women. Like,
Okay.
if we're going to any events, like, is it Grace Hopper? They're actually doing, it doesn't have to be a Ubuntu group, they're doing just a Women in Free Software. And normally I go, but I can't go, so we just ship CDs. So while Ubuntu's being represented in the capacity of women in open source, we should look at joining together with the other groups who, you know, even if it doesn't want to be a Ubuntu women table, do a women in open source table. And just, everybody just takes an hour at Grace Hopper. And you don't have to sit there all day, you just take an hour. And you don't have to know about everybody's projects, but you get to talk about yours for an hour.
Right.
So,
Southeast Linux Fest didn't have an Ubuntu booth, just Ubuntu women.
yeah, I know.
Wow.
That was cool.
Oh yeah, so Jessica made stickers at Tech Shop, and that's these ones, these decals. They're really nice. I have like 2 of them. I got rid of them, gave the rest away. But I can give more away here. Those were really nice. I'm very impressed. This one.
Yeah. I want one. Or 6.
Yeah, Michelle brings up that if we do end up having more money than we can deal with, I'm involved with a nonprofit that works with educational institutes, and it's close enough to the charter that we could handle Ubuntu Women money through Partimus if needed. So,
Yeah.
yay, make more.
And I think they have a nonprofit set up too, through Kima. Or
Yeah,
Kumo or whatever.
yeah.
So they have that set up too, so.
So one thing that Jessica brought up on the list was where's that mailing list post? I lost it already. So
I was also thinking about the website of Ubuntu Women, which I guess is still to be renewed.
yeah, so when we move the wiki theme over to the new one, we're going to be redirecting the main page to the wiki.
Okay.
So that'll have the new theme and everything on it.
Instead of the funny faded peach color.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
So
what's
What's the color of these chairs?
It's also about the content because you have just one long page with full of text, which is not really attractive.
right. So this is the wiki on my website, just on one of my servers. So you can see it's got a logo on the top, which the other one doesn't have yet. It's just got this thing. So that looks nicer. And then we pretty much just copied the wall of text from the main site. So you're right. Maybe we should do something that's less.
I mean, do we need a website?
Yeah, we definitely need a website.
More than just a wiki.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We're going to switch everything to a wiki.
So do we still need a website then if we have everything on the wiki?
No, it'll just be redirecting to the wiki.
So why do we need a website?
We don't.
But people
That's
search
what-
for
that's
it.
what I'm
The wiki is going to be the website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wiki is the website. So when you go to ubuntuwomen.com or .org, it'll just redirect you to the wiki. So we won't really have a website. Right now,
Okay.
the only thing we have as a website is one single index page. Everything else has already been moved over to the wiki.
Okay.
So we just have that single index page. I mean, there is, I think what we want to do is maybe lock down this front page so no one can edit it.
Maybe make it, yeah.
Because it's a target. I mean, right now it's restricted to just people who are logged authenticated with Launchpad, which is better than it was before. But I think if we want to make this immutable for everyone, except for the wiki admins, and there's like, I think Mackenzie's still wiki admin.
I am.
Uh-huh.
When did I get to be an admin?
I don't know, like 5 years ago.
No, I've only been using Ubuntu that long.
When we were having issues with the pages, I think that's when we assigned
Yeah,
you
we added a bunch of
people.
Oh,
I think
when-
I
Amber's
don't
one
remember
too.
being made an admin.
Yeah, because
Maybe, I don't remember.
we had to watch it there for a couple
I'm on the
days.
Facebook page
Yeah. So,
and the blog.
but yeah, let me add. We should.
This person up on IRC who says she was intending to come over here and her name is Celine.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. She was at the last
Ran
UDS.
into her in the hall.
How does one go about getting stickers? Ask me. Where's my IRC? I'm P-Leia too, so just send me a message and send me an email or something, and I will get stickers. I can just ship them out. Oh, and Jess is making the
This is the
stickers.
Ubuntu Women's session.
Right, but as far as website content goes,
Yeah, I
this
found myself using that static page so often.
really.
Yeah.
So maybe we should identify the really important parts about this static page and
Just
keep
because of the
those.
stuff on the side, I would just click there.
Yeah, so those are all the wiki pages. Yeah, so
So it was great just having them on a static page where I could just go to and just,
right. But
Click
the
them.
actual text on the site is probably
it can,
questionable. I mean, it is a lot of words.
yeah. I never read, I mean, I read it, but
I never read it either.
I read it like once and then I just used the links on the side.
Yeah.
So,
It's too long and.
yeah.
Yeah, if we aren't reading it, something needs to happen.
Yeah, so I can, so let me,
Can we just have like the logo and then the links on the side?
yeah, we could do
And
something.
And then like maybe like 3 lines about the group and then they can go,
Okay.
just something really clean and
So
easy.
we can always put up a page that's information about
Like
women
about-
in open source,
right.
which is really what most of that is.
Exactly,
It's
yes.
women in open source and yeah.
We can transfer
I-
that over
Why-
because it's still
why-
good history.
Why do we need this project page?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like a clean, something really clean, and then the links to the pages.
Yeah, just something that when people type in ubuntu-women.com or whatever, it takes you there and then redirect, whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah, you can click on links to get more about the project or
Yeah.
learn more about women in open source or do something like that.
Yeah.
So let me,
because while everything's moved over to the wiki, I had that in that page in my bookmarks because it was easy to find everything. It was
Yeah.
just easy.
So what were some of ideas? Split off, about page,
Make it just clean with the links. I don't know how you word that in, admin speak, but.
I would also put the links to other projects or other women projects inside other open source.
Yeah, I think that would
Isn't there
be
one?
under here.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, well, oh, right, I'm on the wrong wiki.
Okay.
Anyway, there's my,
But on the other page,
Thing.
it links
Anyway.
to those
Yeah,
resources.
Some
Let me
cross
find
linking
my right.
between the pages.
oh,
It's really useful in search engines.
yeah, so that's that. And then, yeah, we have external resources.
We probably need to update those too.
We definitely need to update these.
So, update WikiLinks not as a sub.
So let me, we need to do, I think, a full review of our wiki. That will include, maybe, yeah. So that'll say update links and, I don't know what else, some other stuff probably.
Just say update pages as necessary.
I don't know if it is already there, but it should be like the list of initiatives taken a long time. Like we have been to this conference, we have done these
Okay, yeah.
locally and globally.
Yeah, I think we had an at conferences page too.
Yeah, there was, I remember there was something, but
It just kind of died away somehow. Or it's
Yeah, I think we
dying a
up-
slow death.
we
We need to
up-
revive it.
Yeah, I think we updated it a couple of times, like last year. I don't remember where it is. No, that's not helpful. Okay. So, does anyone want to take the action item of reviewing our wiki pages for up-to-dateness?
That doesn't mean you have to update it. That just means you have
You
to
just need
like
to identify.
and make a list of which pages are broken.
Yeah, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
maybe I can take a look.
Okay.
great.
All right. So,
Also Michelle is opening.
oh yay.
Yay!
Cool. All right.
Does it work in the Android web browser?
What doesn't?
That.
Oh.
I tried to edit the Etherpad, and it's like, I click in the area where the typing goes, and it's just like, big orange box, you have clicked on an item. And I'm like, yes, I clicked on the thing, the typing. Can I please type
Google
into it?
Docs works
No,
with the
you don't need
Android
a
app.
keyboard, you're just clicking on a thing.
So website stuff, mentoring stuff, stickers and stuff.
So resources would be stickers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Did you just want to call it stickers and stuff or resources?
Yeah. Also with this new theme, I think we'll want to revisit this top thing. So Melissa like reorganized the site and made all this great
Yeah, it doesn't
section
match
stuff,
now.
but now it doesn't match. So we should.
Thought that yellow's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We
our
wanted
trans-
that to be kind of
That what?
scary at the time, so people would.
Yeah.
Also, the World Play Day competition bit, which
Yeah.
This is why we
also
have to-
very out of date.
Yeah. So we've had
But
the
the
like.
contrast on that is really bad.
It's just the yellow just isn't icky.
This
The yellow
doesn't.
is
It
also the darker.
doesn't look as bad on
The
mine.
contrast is really bad with the lens.
Yeah. So this stuff doesn't.
How
Look,
about,
The yellow's not that bright on my computer.
no, it's not like that on mine either. I think it's the projector.
Yeah, so again, it's updating the headers, it's just giving everything a new look, so.
Yeah. So I think we need to, because this won't actually be the front page anymore. The front page will be our revised wall of text, which might just be like this.
Yeah.
But so I think what we'll do is we'll look at this and rewrite it because now we don't need like all this stuff down here because there'll now be in this. Well, where'd it go? Oh, right, this page doesn't have it. It'll be in our menu on the side. So we'll need to pretty much rewrite all this, but I'll put that into my action item for rewriting the text anyway.
Okay.
And we'll pull these things. We might do something like, for news, check out our blog or something simple, so we don't need to have these
Yeah.
big, bright things. The problem was we were trying to use a wiki, and wiki is...
Can we just get rid of wikis? That's my
No.
mission.
All right. So we'll also need to work on moving this stuff around, but I think that's all just going to be part of my website
Yeah.
action item. So another one of the things that Jessica mentioned on list is we've got this. There's a best practices page. So she was suggesting that we find a way to help other like logo teams and stuff attract more women to their projects or to their teams. And at the last UDS, we started putting together this best practices page, but it's very short.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we need to make an action item for making this not short, because it's a good resource to point people to.
Update
and I
best
have-
practice
there's also
list?
the help.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
see a
like,
link on, oh wait, this is
at
the
the
bottom,
bottom.
haha.
yeah.
I'm supposed to update that, I should get around to that. I told Valerie I would update it last Christmas, so.
So, you person who's reading it just reads kind of really, really harsh. It's not really friendly kind of page. It's kind of encouraging
bullets in.
practice for women into your team. It's kind of like, because a lot of logo teams are fairly male predominant, which is fine. They do a lot of women in them, and maybe they don't want to be as active in Ubuntu Women or online and stuff like that, but don't underestimate or patronize girlfriends and wives. A woman might be attending or meeting her with a partner, but it just seems kind of even those things are kind of patronizing, to be honest, to read me reading them.
But that happens, though.
I'm not too sure I'd recommend any of my mates to that page, to be honest.
Okay, so these things, we have to write this somehow because that sort of thing happens.
Yeah,
Don't.
it just reads really, really harsh, like stay clear of sexist jokes. So stay clear of jokes that may offend, because putting the word sexist in there because certain jokes.
Well, you have to tell people that because they don't get it. I mean, you can hit them with a 2x4 and they don't get it. The clue back does not work.
Still, the whole point of attracting more women to your team is for learning, and these are secondary points.
Well,
Yeah.
these aren't really
You can
more
attract
for,
women if you say, we're actually going to talk about Linux. We're actually going to talk about Ubuntu. This is what we're going to do.
yeah.
Be concise, don't patronize, don't dumb it down. We will not talk to you like you're a baby.
Yeah, I think that reads a
That's
lot better.
primary. These things are
Want an action item, Susan?
just, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think, to be honest,
Okay.
You can't
Seems a little bit better because
baby and like, little.
I'm signing Susan to this.
You're trying to.
Well, yeah, so we want to work on this, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's wording. I think it's just.
Back when this was written, things were really bad.
Yeah, so a lot of this is really pulled from the encourage
Yeah.
women
From
now, too, and
Valerie's.
That is very, very
Right.
tertiary where it's like from 2001.
So many women.
When Valerie wrote that, it was
It was
really
very
bad.
Yeah.
So I get that, certain things and issues happen, I do, and I fully appreciate that, but I think we can make it a bit more user-friendly, that page, and also, trying to encourage women into Ubuntu and into open source communities. That's not really kind of what you're attracting women to Ubuntu. That's why it's okay to come, but you should say learn about Ubuntu, learn how to get more involved.
I'd say some
maybe
groups
extra
are
triage.
less attracting as opposed to
That's like-
keeping.
It's
Not scaring them
actually
off.
like an
Right. How to get
Yeah.
them to come back a second time.
And this page really wasn't
To
for
be
women,
honest,
it was
as
for
a
men
woman reading
to.
that, if I were to read that and show that, I'd be saying going, Jesus, do things like this happen? And they have to put those kind of stuff out there in Ubuntu. Me personally, I read it as negatively.
It's important for women in IT, especially women in IT, to know that this is an area that they're sensitive to. Because IT is a rough place.
Totally agree with you, but it's not the first thing that I want to see Ubuntu women.
I know, but it's like I said, it's the
happens in
secondary part. It could be a smaller font, italics,
Yeah.
whatever, underneath the whole point, so that you know that you're not luring women into a meeting that turns into a Tupperware party. Which is the worst.
Yeah,
And you scare people away. I mean, I've been lured into quite a few of those. I've went to women meetings.
I think you need to find a nice balance, to be honest. I think so.
Yeah.
Putting more points for bonuses for best practices to get people involved in Ubuntu women,
Do you want
and in local
Yeah,
teams
so
and in
let's-
Ubuntu itself.
Let's have this be a
Teams.
separate one from update that we
to?
can.
Okay,
That
yeah.
if you
How did you get the bullet? Did you just move it over?
There's a
give
there's a
your
little
time to
button.
this,
You can look
if
up at the
you
screen.
take
There's
it
this
out
little
of
button here.
schedule to
Okay.
attend this meeting,
Moves them
you're
back.
going to learn about Ubuntu.
Yep.
You're not going to talk about women. You're going to talk about.
So Michelle also.
But in this context, you will not be.
With the caveat.
Do you want to put you and I on it
With
too?
sexist
Yeah.
crap.
So there should be some sort of caveat there that certain
Go ahead.
logos do things differently. So each logo, and we kind
Oh,
of
we
see
got
it
two
in the canvas, certain teams that have their events, they're more prominent one way. Then always so like the Italian logo, they have a lot more talks
Who's gonna be good
and some mini summits. You look at Ubuntu UK and Ubuntu Ireland, we go to the pub, more sociable, kind of have a few drinks. It's a different type of environment. So you're in a pub, there's obviously going to be joking, a bit more banter around, so it's a different type of environment. But also the caveat that, if you feel uncomfortable saying to somebody.
Caveat. Great. That's
See the
a great way to
caveat.
look at
You
it.
need to say that
Yes.
each local team is very different, so that if a person says, well, you've said it happens, it won't happen in my team, well, I'm sorry, but each team is very, very different. Because it's different culture.
You know what I think? I think that possibly, okay, you have it up there, but don't start with a negative.
Mm-hmm.
That, if we just rephrase things so that it's,
More positive.
yeah.
And the pages
And I would say that the safe space, like the places one, I would put that farther down the list, not because it's less important, but because as a woman, you don't want to read first out that the people you're about to see have to be told that they need to put things
Like
in
not
a
have
safe
things in
space.
Right.
And again, I think that's
I think we agree that this all needs to be rewritten
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
is actually pulled from Valerie's,
Right.
her, what is the name?
How to
It was
encourage
written in,
How to.
and Valerie's a kernel developer who, when she wrote a lot of this stuff that we modified, it was really rough.
Yeah, I mean,
So
so
we,
it's just-
Yeah, it was retro-
Yeah.
Resulted at a couple of
Update it.
cons.
From
yeah, so we just need to update it to what we are now. I think we
Okay,
ought to do
so
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was
It's a good word.
So I have a question for the team.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, this team wasn't as active as it currently is now. It was in a lot less organised. There was less kind of goals. It was kind of a bit more. It was less. It was
It was
more.
an IRC channel full of lurkers.
It was a bit more. It was a lot of chaotic. So, we've got to the session where we have UDS sessions. Where do we see ourselves going in the next 2 years? Because we can't just keep saying, we're going to update the blueprints, we're going to be update the wiki pages. Where do we see ourselves going in 2 years' time? Because I think we should need to look further than a 6-month cycle. What's the goal for in a year's time?
So the
not to really go
So
bad
I
job,
think we
really
could
good
get
job.
10% in 2 years.
Well, if we get 35 to 40%, we may have just,
and the
and we may,
project, yeah.
and we may have just moved ourselves as a group to extinction because we're no longer needed. It all depends on that magic number, which in statistics show that it's somewhere between 35 and 45%. It's never 50%. It's right before that when you get that many people, that's the percentage of women that groups like this are no longer needed. And so I don't see us being there in 2 years, but I see us being well on our way.
Yeah, and I mean, while we're doing all this stuff, like updating blueprints and working on wiki pages, I mean, we're still working on our core goal, which is like mentoring and providing a social space. And that's really what the core of the project is, I think. I mean, all this other stuff that we're doing, I mean, we're trying to raise the profile of women who are doing good projects. But as far, I mean, the problem with this project is it's sort of an ongoing.
It's a living, breathing thing. It's growing.
That we work on. So goals beyond percentages are kind of hard.
I guess for me, like, it was 2 years ago, I was actively involved in all of the RSC channels on the mailing lists. And 2 years later, I'm on the mailing list. That's it. I don't attend the RSC meetings. I don't attend the Ubuntu IRC channel. I'm not logged in there.
And that's actually the goal of it, is to be a springboard.
I just think that, I think we should try and encourage more people. If you're happy in your European community, still, try and get more involved in other community. I think that's what we're lacking, is getting people who are involved in the Ubuntu Women channel into other projects.
But that's like Emma Jane's not involved as much anymore.
Right.
Lee's not involved.
Like, we don't want people to join the project and join Ubuntu Women. We want them to join the community, and that's why a lot of them have left the channel. It's not because it's just because they don't have time for Ubuntu Women anymore. If they want to work on,
They're involved in other, like you are. Like, you're really heavily involved in doing this amazing job in the local council and now the CC. You really don't have time now to be as active in Ubuntu Women. And that's what Emma Jane got. She made it perfectly clear that it's not that I dislike this group. It's now I'm running this company, and I just wrote my second book, and now I'm doing all this stuff. And it was a springboard, which is what we want it to be, so people don't get stuck in. Like, we're not gathering all the women up and keeping them here.
I'm just worried that we're going to have the same action items for the next 3 years. And at that point, do we need a UDS session, or is this all stuff that we can actually figure out in the meeting?
Yeah, it'll probably
whether that's. So I think that's what she's trying to figure out. Is there a bigger thing?
So between me in Ireland and the UK, because I'm involved in both of those, because I still fly the flag of both, there's an awful lot of women in both teams, but none of which are involved in Ubuntu, but are involved in Ubuntu. But they've never ever gone near Ubuntu.
So I don't think that's a problem. I think the people who are involved in Ubuntu Women are the ones who are actively trying to get more women involved. I don't see it. I mean, I use Ubuntu, but I might not be involved in the project. I mean,
well, the problem is that in England, I'm being called to do Ubuntu UK talks for Ubuntu, and mention Ubuntu Women, but there are no other Ubuntu Women in the UK. But there are lots of women in Ubuntu UK who just don't belong to the team. So I don't know if I'm representing the team or not representing the team enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
But because there's nobody else in the UK team on that team in the Ubuntu Women.
I mean, if they're interested in helping other women get involved, it's great for them to join the team. But I don't see a goal as every woman being involved.
I don't think everybody has to be.
I mean, I guess following off that, I guess it's just a matter too of getting women involved, and if you really want to push for them to get involved in Ubuntu Women, sure. But overall, I tend to think the goal is really to get them involved in
Ubuntu. Where you outgrow the group, where you really outgrow the group, and that because you're a springboard.
Those years time is when there's not enough of us there to bring in the new people. That's my kind of.
Well, that's when the new people are then bringing in new people.
Right,
We've moved on to do something else.
On the other hand, half of us who are here were either attending remotely or in person 2 years ago.
But two of our new leaders are not. They're both new. So I think that new people will come along as they're interested. Because I know.
At least I hope.
Yeah, well, it's always happened, so I don't really have reason to believe that it won't.
Susan, you had your arm up. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just kind of I guess I need some clarification here. When you say you're trying to get women involved in Ubuntu, who are you targeting to become involved? Are they people in the Ubuntu community who aren't participating in locos, or are the women who are now currently using Linux that you would like to expose to Ubuntu and to see if they would like to become contributors of some type, app developers or whatever? Or are you trying to target people who don't use Linux?
All of the above.
Okay, all right, now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, so probably what an action item is, define the different types of target markets we've got, and then what are the projects we're going to do, what are the actions, what are the activities, events, you know, just make
So I guess up
emails,
at the top,
lists of what we're gonna do for each of those groups, because how you relate to those people and pull them in is gonna be totally different.
Okay, that's a good idea.
you've got a good point.
So you've got things that are
So
involved in
actually
the
doing instead of.
And that's my big worry is that.
Because they're not going to come to you, right? At this point, we really want to pull more women into this. I mean, if you change a culture, you change the women first, right?
And every culture is very different, so you need to take that into account as
That's
well.
it, that as
Because
well. And you know what? But you got to have a basis from which to
I would say,
make these
yeah.
distinctions first. You got to, you know, within each culture, you would do these things. But these are the things you want to do,
yeah,
and then break it down. That would be a detail.
yeah. So I think like certain like teams have an awful lot more female presence.
Which
once
one
they
does the
move, because
sub-bullets or anything?
they're just people in the LGBT community. The Italian logo, the French logo, they have an amazing amount of women in their teams.
Of course, they do have a different aspect, a different school environment. Starts at university, maybe even.
And it's not that they just start in
and
their
even
local
in
team.
this-
They start in at the ground.
Even the southern United States is pretty different from the Northeast in terms of the participation level. I mean, just the technical, the percentage of women who are involved in technical vocations at all. Is it different? It's always different. Each local, like you said, each local is different. So, but you still need to identify your major cleavages between your markets, and then you apply that to your region.
That's a good. So maybe as a starting point, we can first define the groups we're targeting now. So say women who are using Ubuntu but haven't contributed, women who are using some kind of Linux in their job but aren't thinking. So maybe the first task is to define those profiles, and then beyond that, we'll talk culturally with each one of those.
So we can even define the groups right now.
All right.
Let's make our lives a little bit easier.
All right. Let me pull this and.
So what was the first one again?
I would say women who are currently utilizing Ubuntu, maybe they are developers themselves or they're just users, but they are familiar with Ubuntu, and we want them to feel comfortable in speaking up and attending locos and maybe becoming more involved.
Using
And
Ubuntu again.
finding out that Ubuntu is a great way to advance their career and their skills, because they're going to find information from us. So where to go, what to do.
Do you know what I'm saying? So already using Ubuntu.
And we want them to become.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then
think.
people who are contributors, but where are they, how can we help, or want to contribute?
Okay. So
Great.
So maybe,
to what maybe expand involvement.
current contributors, and then, move to expanded involvement.
Yeah. So I mean, people who are already using Ubuntu, people who
And
are
then-
using Linux
And then people who aren't using Linux that aren't using it.
Yeah. So
in
let's
any form.
bring that to the top.
Linux, to encourage them to like expand their boundaries and work with Ubuntu.
I can spell, dang it.
So yeah, the first team, like the first.
Oh, you're putting that
area.
in there, never mind. I'll take mine out.
Well, you're saying
Oh.
not using Linux.
Jeez.
So also women using Ubuntu, women using Linux but on Ubuntu, right? Already using and familiar with Ubuntu, contributor and current contributors to expand involvement. What about people in local teams but kind of just lurk but have no other involvement? They just kind of.
I think that might be that already using and familiar.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what it's
Consider.
So let's
Yeah,
put
because
us.
people in local teams are going to be spread all over this
Yeah.
profile system. I'm trying to add kind of a special group of women in university who are studying science. I mean, how to use Linux to their best advantage, to get kind of know that Ubuntu's out there.
We gotta have people to do this, so while it's
Oh, I
great
know, I'm
to
saying,
target it.
you can't do it unless you define it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there are specific action items on here, you may get people that you haven't heard from before.
That's why I got involved in it.
I'm
They're
totally-
this is like,
This is an area that I'm interested in.
Probably should just
That's
say,
why I
we're
mentioned
making
you up
university,
there.
since I started using Linux in university, and I was
Exactly.
definitely not a scientist, I was an English
All right, we'll
major,
just
so.
I was
leave
a
it at that.
Japanese major when I started.
Exactly, and there are ways that you can use this.
Okay.
You don't have any money when you're in school, right? And you don't have any money when you're out of school, so you're most
No, we
likely
never
to be
have any money.
interested in free and open software just as a user at that time in your life. And then you become familiar with this stuff and you like it and you prefer it, you may want to up your status in your job by knowing more about it, by knowing how it works, what's inside it, and then you may become a developer. I mean, we got to take into account the life cycle of women, and that people aren't just born with a computer in their hand. And I
So,
think that's really an area of growth.
Michelle says she's missing from the list.
so I was thinking, I was gonna put a
Oh yeah,
bullet point.
Michelle's another, she said, did she say she was missing from the list, is that what you
Yes.
said? Yeah, I mean, that is, you know,
Significant others.
What's
well, family and
Prudent.
friends of current Ubuntu users, I guess would be the
Yeah.
better way to say that, because it's not gonna be specific.
So that would go under the not currently using, or maybe using but not,
Expand to expand the part of university. I was starting, then I could not go on with that, but I was starting a collaboration with an Italian association for women that was helping women with problems with low economic availability, let's say. And also for them it was a good things to work on. I mean, having Ubuntu, which is costless as a good thing, and then having something to interesting to start a new life, to work on.
So you've already done that then?
I was going to do it to set a collaboration, but then I dropped it because I moved to France.
Oh, okay.
So it was
So-
women association, association helping women with troubles. They are everywhere in the world. So I guess this could be also a good place where to help women to get in touch with Ubuntu.
so how do we wanna, what do we wanna call that?
University, maybe I would add it on the university side, like university and other
Describe them as
environments.
poor. Um,
What is that, Valerie typing that?
Yeah, I would pull out the poor and just
Yeah, I'm
say,
trying to figure out a word that's not, I mean, it's not
Economic?
always economic.
No,
It's somehow disadvantaged or,
why don't we just use the word disadvantaged
yeah.
or disenfranchised or just something other than poor?
I just women who would like to get involved with the software, who don't want to put into, who can't, without monetary, investment.
That's a good
You don't
one.
want to put any money into it
Funding.
until they know they like it.
Yeah,
Just, they want to learn it without a monetary investment.
hey, you can try it out now in the cloud.
I have to admit that the push to using much higher resources that's been going on as Unity comes through is something that's been bugging me because like the digital divide is something that I found really interesting when I first started using Ubuntu, and now it's like, oh, I can't use it on a penny two anymore.
Oh, so we've only got
Yeah.
a minute left. So with these profiles, can we assign someone to create a wiki page to put these on and then start a conversation maybe on the mailing list to get these fleshed out? Okay, great.
Yay, Susan has work to do.
So we'll copy these over to the blueprint later.
Thank you though, Susan.
Well, I'm sorry to just kind of.
No, don't
No.
apologize, I'm glad you
No, but it's a goal, and that's what I'm saying, we need to look further than 6 months. We need to look further down the road, because limiting ourselves to 6 months isn't really a way to grow a team.
Yeah, you need more than that.
Okay, good.
Yep, I think we gotta put him.
All right, I think
Big
that's-
plan.
That's a big thing.
So I've got stickers and business cards and stuff. So I'm gonna go to my room and grab them. So find
You got
me
the old ones or the new ones?
new ones.
Oh.
So just find me later, and I can give you some stickers. I'll go grab them soon, and I'll carry them with me. So
Great.
you can give them out. All right, great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. See, we're saying thank you, Monica.
I'm supposed to thank them all personally.
Huh?
I'm supposed to thank them all personally.
Everybody. What's this next round?
Wait. Okay, so I forgot. Michelle. So we have an Ubuntu Women dinner tomorrow night at Michelle's place, and she wants to know who all's coming. So it's going to be at 6:30. We're getting rides over there, and